Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Book Corner. That's right, guys, and it is me, your host, Spider Slayer. That's right, guys, we are getting ready to do another comic book review, and the first review of this week that we are going to talk about is Deadpool Kills issue number 1. That's right, guys. When I saw this book at the store, I was like, dude, I gotta get this. This looks awesome. And the cover looked good, and I'm like, wow, this is really, really gonna be cool. Because it's like an alternate story. The Watcher's involved and everything else. But for me, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was okay, and hopefully it gets a little bit better as time goes on with this particular series. I think it's a 4-part series, and it comes out once a week. Just to give you a quick page of what the interior art looks like. It's okay. It's not, again, it's not fantastic, and this is what I found with the books this week. That's why I had so many issues going back to certain books if I should get them or not, because I'm huge on artwork, and artwork for a lot of books with this week was just okay for me. But here you can see a page of the artwork inside this book. And so for me, it is okay. So we got right here, Deadpool Kills number 1. And before I get started with this actual review, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone out there that persuade me or to give me guidance on what titles to buy this particular week. There was a lot of books that I was on the fence about, and I didn't get them. Well, I want to thank everyone out there for guiding me in that right direction, because I wound up getting Hawkeye, because I didn't originally get it. I wound up getting Peter Parker, Spider-Man, the .1. I didn't get that either, and I wound up getting that because I was told that the story was good. And then I also got the first X-Men as well. So I did get those books, guys. Those were the ones that I were on the fence about, because for me the artwork isn't that great, but I heard stories were decent in them. So I'm going to give them a try. I paid very little for the books. I had store credit, so I paid like $1 for all 3 of them. So it wound up working out pretty good for me. So getting back on track, let's get back to the review on Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. In a nutshell, the story to me is okay. It's not the greatest masterful plan in the world. It's just a story about, here we see the Watcher, and he's just, you would think that whenever a story has to do with changing the Marvel Universe, you have the Watcher involved. So the Watcher gives his story. He's talking and he's saying, oh, things might not be what they seem, but in this universe we have a mass killings and this and that. So right off the bat, you see Invisible Girl, and Reed Richards, and they've been in some kind of crazy ass battle, and Mr. Fantastic is all spread out on the ground. Deadpool's involved with these killings, and the children have been shipped off to the negative zone. And again, we have Reed here. He's like melting away. He doesn't have anything left with him. No less elasticity left. He's just basically dies. And then all of a sudden, we see a crash in Fantastic Four's headquarters there, and it's Johnny Storm. And all of a sudden, Invisible Girl's like, oh no, Johnny! And we come out to it, and he basically gets his throat slit right here by Deadpool, and Deadpool's like, believe it, he's like, you put up one quite of a fight, and but he just slits his throat and he dies. And Invisible Girl is just, she's really in desperate times, so she uses her power and she kind of is blowing up Deadpool's head here. So pop, he blows up like a balloon, and he falls to the ground and he burns, and she's just like, you know, doesn't say much, not what's really going on. And then all of a sudden he comes back alive, and he's like, you shouldn't leave me that, you know, by myself, because I regenerate. And you see him here, he stabs Invisible Girl. So now you have the Watcher comes back, and we go back in time to see how Deadpool or Wade Wilson got to be this way. And it all has to do with a doctor, and the doctor is named Benjamin Brighthouse, but AKA his name is Psycho Man, and he wants to change everyone's mind to be army of killers. So he wants supervillains and all these people to be killers so he can rule the world. That's his objective. And the reason or how Wade was brought to the Correctional Institute to fix his mind was through the X-Men. They want to see him get well and get better again. And Wade doesn't want to be there and this and that, but this guy's not really a doctor. Again, his name is Psycho Man. And as he's being evaluated, he just lets Deadpool know what's basically going on. He's just sitting there going, you're going to be an army of supervillains, and you guys are going to be under my control, and blah, 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 blah. And so he's just breaking him down to do his bidding. And what happens in the whole process, we think at first it doesn't work. And we can see here he gets tortured and brutaled up and things like that. He falls on the floor. And we see a new voice in Wade's vocabulary here. And he goes, "Hello, Wade." And the next thing we see is that Deadpool starts killing the Doctor. But the Doctor is Psycho Man, and he comes from the Microverse. So he's hiding in the head of Dr. Brighthouse. And he's saying, "Obey me, Deadpool, obey me." And what happens here is that he's like, no. He's like, we don't obey anybody. And he smashes Psycho Man and he kills him. And you can see here. And then from this point on out, Deadpool just goes on this killing spree. And he blows up the whole facility. And what happens now is the Watcher appears, and he goes back to current story, and Deadpool's involved in killing the Watcher all of a sudden. So now we're back at the Fantastic Four headquarters, and the Watcher's like, "How did you know I was here? And how could you do this to me?" And he goes, and Wade goes, "I just want to know one thing. Who were you talking to?" He goes, "Well, whoever they are, the little peeping Toms out there," which means the audience, because the Watcher always talks to the readers. And he goes, "They better keep," Wade goes, "You better keep the eyes peeled." He goes, "Because they're going to want to see what's next, and they're going to want to watch this world burn." And the next thing we see is the Watcher's head, and he's decapitated and is lying right there. And at the end of the issue, it just says "to be continued." So we have a picture of the next issue right here, and it says Avengers Assassinated. So we can see there that will be issue number 2, which comes out next week. Okay, it was alright. I thought it would be a lot better than that. I was on board right away, but the story and the plot was very weak. I mean, all I had to deal with was the Doctor evaluating Deadpool, and it went wrong, and now he has a new voice in his head, and all of a sudden he comes this major killer massacre guy, just kills everyone he sees, all the superheroes and everything, with no real rhyme or reason. A lot of the humor's been negated in this. He doesn't have that much humor now that he's a massacre. He just kind of goes out and kills people and listens to the voice in his head that says kill, kill, kill. So I don't know where this is actually going and how it ends. It's 4 parts. It's $2.99. I'll see what issue 2 has to offer, and then I'll take it from there. So again, I gave it probably an average rating of 2. If you're interested in buying Deadpool Kills, go ahead and buy it. If you just want
to follow me by doing this, by watching my reviews, then just follow me doing these reviews this way. So you make the decision on what you want to buy, guys. All right. So this is the review of Deadpool Kills issue 1. And guys, thanks for watching. And as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner. This is Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks, guys. Take care.